What's going on, familia? It's your boy Slayer Extreme TV. Today I bring you a new type of video, man. We're gonna be doing, I guess you could call it a mod spotlight, mod review type of thing on Primordial Unleashed, which is my own Dino Overhaul mod that I created at the beginning of ASA and just recently finished probably just a couple months back. I'm going to be critiquing the ins and outs, the pros, the cons, about the mod, the style of the grind. I'm going to be explaining pretty much everything, the little basic guide on how to even progress, what kind of options you have in terms of armor, terms of tools, weapons, tranks, even just the abundance of dinos you have to look forward to, and the structures as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is all the different types of crafting stations as you see here, and of course what each of them will be able to do for you. So let's start on this end. This is the primordial cooking pot. This is where everything in terms of your kibble, certain platters, soups, honeys, beers, even vanilla things will be crafted. It acts like a refrigerator, but it does require power, so you will need a generator. It needs to be irrigated, of course. So we have different types of crafting resources for your progression. Only the stage 3 kibbles will be crafted within this, but we have different tiered beer, different tiered honey, platters, which will be stage 2 dino food pretty much. We have tiered soups, and that's pretty much that simple. Here, this is just our primordial beer barrel. It's basically just something that will craft up water jars within it, as well as vanilla beer. I know a lot of people have said, why isn't the beer craftable in here? Well, I hadn't set it up that way just yet, and I don't know if I will. And so that's just something I will look into, whether or not I want to do it that way. You have the primordial fridge, which is simply anything and everything can go in here. Anything that it has basically a timer, a spoil timer, will be able to work in here and keep everything cool for a long period of time. This is basically my version of a fabricator, which is called our primordial assembler. This is where you will craft your metal arrows, your darts, the starting stages for that. You have your primordial net, which I'll show off here in a second. You know, you have certain tools like your chainsaws that we have. It still works like vanilla. You have your composites. You have all your different types of tiered armor that you can craft here. And yeah, we have our own dedicated storage bench, our dedicated storage for primordial. It basically, it's the same as vanilla, just looks different basically. And if I'm not mistaken, it's cheaper. It doesn't require element to craft. It just requires the void ingots. You have our primordial vault, simply just a bigger storage. That's all it is. You have our primordial smelter. This is where all your tiered ingots will be crafted, as well as vanilla ingots and stuff. Now keep in mind, everybody has been telling me about this. This thing will automatically smelt your ingots for vanilla and modded, but it's one of those things that you have to use metal, raw metal, as you can see here, and the ore. Like, so let's see, let's look for, where's the void? Here it is. Like for void ore, you need raw metal and raw void ore, but because it's an automatic crafting, it's going to craft both at the same time, so you're going to get metal ingots and void ingots type of thing. Now people have requested, hey, can you disable this so we can just craft this because I'm wasting resources. This is how it was created. I created it this way because it's supposed to be a grind and supposed to be a pain in the butt. I'm not going to make it easier for you guys to craft nothing but void ingots when I want you to struggle to crafting them while also making a majority of metal ingot at the same time. This is my primordial laboratory. Basically, it's the chem bench. This is where you can craft all your vanilla stuff, as well as your stage 2 powders for your eye powders, your tiered narcotics, stage 2 eye juices, your soul dusts, and of course the normal vanilla stuff as well. And it's, of course, all these structures are 1000% faster than vanilla. Here's the primary workbench for primordial. This is where all of your elixirs, your primordial poop, all the stage 1 kibbles, and some stage 2 kibbles, basically for the harvesting tier. All of your saddles will be crafted here. All the rest of the primordial structures that can't be crafted from your inventory will be crafted here, as well as the basic harvesting tools for each, the pick, the hatchet, and the sickle. Each harvesting tool does do a specific boost in harvesting. So right here I have the Eternium pick on me. This does 10 times better harvesting than vanilla, and there's nothing special about them. It's just vanilla resources. That's all it is. Chainsaw is the same way. And then of course you have all your different types of elixirs. So you have a stam elixir, food elixir, weight elixir, damage elixir, and health elixir. So the stam, food, weight, and damage boost those. The stam basically regenerates. The food regenerates. The weight boosts your weight by 10, by multiplier of 10 for 25 minutes. Damage increases player damage by 1,000 for 25 minutes. Health, of course, is regenerative. You have your mating elixir as well, that we've added. This will basically reset your mating timers for your dinos instantly. It's expensive, but it's worth it. You have a growth elixir that instantly grows up your dino to an adult from a baby. And you have an imprint elixir. Now, the imprint elixir needs to be used first before your growth elixir, because you cannot just toss this in a dino when it's an adult and try to imprint it automatically. It doesn't work that way. Must be a baby. Now, we have our boss summoner, which is our primordial shrine. This is where all your bosses will be spawned in from. You have two different types. So you have for your stage 1, you have your regular bosses, which basically where you'll start your main progression. You have to defeat the main progression bosses. You also have tribute bosses as well in here. These tokens, these are refight tokens. Basically, if, say, for whatever reason, you fought a boss, but your tribe mate wasn't there for it, you can refight said boss for a cheaper price so that tribe mate or tribe mates can get those engrams. Okay? And it goes all the way up for stage 1, 2. Stage 1 and 2, you have progression bosses as well as guardians. Those have refight tokens. The stage 3 is just straight a guardian boss fight. And then you have the end game boss. Okay. And yeah, that's where all the shrine stuff. We have our own spoiler. As it's very, very quick. It does burn what we call primordial poop, which you saw in here. It burns it's specific. This is the specific fuel that you would utilize to burn your spoiler, so all the spoiling can happen. We have our own compost bin with our own tiered fertilizer. Now, the only difference between vanilla fertilizer and the tiered fertilizer is that these last longer, so they provide more nitrogen for your crops. We have a faster primordial preserving bin, just vanilla stuff. This is our primordial chest. It's a pretty much basic chest outside of the vault. As you can see, the textures are kind of broken. I'll have to fix that at some point. We have our own tiered crop plots. Each crop plot gives a different type of greenhouse effect. As you can see, this is the highest level crop plot, which is 1300% greenhouse. It's automatic greenhouse. Doesn't matter if it's in a building or not. But you still need to fertilize it, seed it, water it, all that sort of stuff. And those are all the crafting stations. Yeah, I hope that's a little rundown of the crafting stations, and let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we're here at all the stage 1 dinos for Primordial Unleashed. Now we're gonna start over here first. We got our harvesting dino tiers. Each harvesting dino tier have 5 different dinos. I only have 1 showing here, just so you can understand what they look like. We have our void dino, which is our void tier. This is the first. This is basically the starting tier of the mod for harvesting in general. This is where this is the main dino you need to tame first. You have your void Anki, and there, like I said, there's 5 other ones. There's 4 other ones. Sorry, all together you have the Ankleo, you have the Doed, you have the Equus, you have the Toad, and you have the Therizino. Your void Ankleo, your void Doed, and your void Equus will harvest from metal stones and such, and give you the void ore that you need to start crafting some of the primordial structures that are locked behind the void ingot. Now then you have the Elementium Anki, the Mithril Anki, the Unatanium Anki, and the Eternium Anki. Every single one of these mostly need to be tamed. You can tame the Anki and get the majority of what you need, or you can just pick and choose which ones will get what. Each harvesting dino in this mod will harvest bonus materials from vanilla just by smacking a tree, hitting a rock, you know, harvesting a bush, whatever the case may be. Then we have the travel dinos. This is the travel tier. This is our Argentavis. These dinos are fast. If your server lets you level up speed, these dinos have a boost in... Oh, that's melee damage. These dinos, I know you can't see it here because it's a single player, but these dinos have a boost in level up when you level up your speed. So these guys are fast. So be careful when you ride them. Be careful leveling up your speed if the server allows it, because these guys are the fastest dinos on the game. You have your cargo dinos, and with other different variants. This is just the cargo penguin I chose to show for you guys so you know what it looks like. It has a boost in weight. So if you're on a server that doesn't have any stack mods or anything, these cargo dinos come in super handy because their weight is phenomenally high, right? So we have our tiered soul bugs. These are tameable with the knockout tame. They take, I believe, 1 kill per soul bug. Doesn't matter the level from what I've seen. And you can basically come up to them in the backside or just hold E on them or whatever the button is for you, and you can take souls out of their butt, and you get 5 souls like you saw here. Now each tier, the higher the tier soul bug you get, the more souls you get back, and you can easily benefit pretty well. Now if you wanted to, because you don't want to sit here and just continuously take souls, wait, take souls, wait, take souls, you know, that back and forth, you can combo this with Dino Depot and automate it to where the soul bugs, when they are put in the Dino Depot terminal, they will passively generate souls to whatever you set it. We have our Mr. Winnie the Pooh. He is the only harvesting dino that we have created for honey tier. Basically, he will smack a tree, gain honey, gain sap, sort of thing. Now we're going to go in order from what kind of dinos you can look for and what they look like. Here we have the beta tier. This is our beta dino. This is how they look. They're very metallic. This is the first main progression dino. You have our gamma tier, which is the second one. Our elemental, oh my gosh. Elementum tier, elemential, sorry, tier. Now this tier is blaze, but there's 2 other tiers with this, which is tundra and thunder. I didn't spawn them here because I kind of forgot. Don't mind me. Then you have, so elemental, because it has 3 sub tiers, it's not going to have elemental in its name. Keep that in mind. Look for the type of tier the elemental dinos have, which is for the first tier, for the first stage, let me rephrase that, is blaze, thunder, and tundra. Then you have apex, mystic. You go into phantom, and as the tiers get higher, you'll see the difference in stats and damage and things. You have neon, nebula. I know he's cute, isn't he? Then you have chaos and infinity. And those are all the tiers within stage 1. Now, there's no specific meta dino for each individual tier. All the dinos within the tier have the same stats. And sometimes, because this is the first mod I've ever created, these stats don't like to stay consistent. And I still haven't figured out why. But it is what it is. While something may be broken for all I know, and I'm not trying to rebuild this mod right now. So let's move on to all the different stage 2 dinos and everything that you'll need to know. All right, now we're at the stage 2 dinos. Basically, these are just variants of stage 1, and these are very, very unique. And for the most of you who don't know, these dinos do not spawn naturally. So you have netherite, which is the opposite of void. Arcanite, sorry, that's the opposite of elementium. Luminite, that's the opposite of mithril. Genesite, which is the opposite of unobtainium. And celestite, which is the opposite of eternium. These dinos are the same as their counterparts, just only difference is they harvest a little bit more and they get the actual modded resources for that tier. Now the key to getting these dinos to spawn is you need to kill and consume the corpse of the stage 1 variant, and based on your INI configs for the server will determine how often they will spawn. Defaulted, all these dinos have a 25% chance of spawning in, so if your server doesn't change it, you have a 25% chance automatic, so keep that in mind. And if I remember correctly, these guys also harvest the stage 1 variant resource as well. So for example, netherite will harvest netherite ore while also harvesting void ore. Okay. We also have the stage 2 variant of the soul bugs. They spawn in the same way. Okay, you kill the soul bug, consume the corpse, and you have a possibility to get a delta eye bug, or I should say an eye bug variant to spawn in somewhere nearby. These are the same thing. These are tameable, and they give you the eyes that you would normally just receive by killing the stage 2 variant progression dinos over there. Now, the key difference with these stage 2 dinos, and this goes for all of them, okay? These guys have a debuff on them that kills them over time. It basically injures them, as you can see here. If the food doesn't go down, the dino's not going to eat. These dinos need to eat their specific platter. So herbivores eat herbie platter, carnivores eat carnivore platter. And this will heal them, as you can see here. We can force feed it, and it will heal them consistently, and it bypasses the buff. But the buff doesn't go away. The buff is consistent and will stay there until you run out of platters, and it basically until the health is 0 and it kills it. So keep that in mind. If you ever question why is my say my Tyrant Baryonyx dying? It died the instant it hatched. Well, it's because you don't have any platters to feed it to keep it alive, or you don't have any soul balls, cryopods, whatever the case may be, to keep it alive. Now, outside of getting these dinos to spawn, right? So the harvesting dinos for stage 2 are the only dinos that require kibble to tame. These are knockout tames. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, when you move on to actually being able to tame or use, I should say, the stage 2 variants of all these tiers, there's a little specific way to tame them. So first, let's go over what we got. We got Delta, opposite of Beta. Sigma, opposite of Gamma. Inferno, which is the opposite of Blaze, but you can think of it as the opposite of an elemental dino will be a geomorph dino, basically. That's the key thing. So these stage 2 elementals basically are called geomorph. Just these are the sub tiers, same as, basically the opposite of elemental type of thing. You have Tyrant, opposite of Apex. Enigma, opposite of Mystic. Shadow, opposite of Phantom. Radiant, opposite of Neon. Celestial, opposite of Nebula. You have Havoc, opposite of Chaos. And Eternity, opposite of Infinity. Now, to tame these main progression dinos right here, you have to find a female. Pray to God a female has spawned on the map, pretty much. Or kill the stage 1 variants until a female spawns. And then kill that female for the chance of a fertilized egg to be left behind on the ground. Now, you can tame the stage 2 dinos at any point in time because you can find fertilized eggs all across your server. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're barely starting out, you can get a stage 2 variant from a fertilized egg immediately. The downfall with that, you have no way to ride it because all stage 2 dinos require saddles. And you can't craft the saddle because you're not even at stage 2 or that stage 2 tier, and basically they start dying. And because stage 2 dinos require the stage 2 platters, and if you are just starting out on the mod, you won't be able to keep these guys alive unless you keep them in some type of cryo ball or cryopod mod or whatever the case may be, and ensure that they are getting healed within it, because the moment you throw them out, they start taking damage. So keep that in mind, and especially for you guys, if you've always wondered why the heck these guys are dying or why you're randomly finding them, that's why. They're always going to be on the map because these dinos fight each other. Alright, I hope that little information helps you for the stage 2, and let's move on to the next one. Alright, now we're at the stage 3. This is the last stage of the mod before you get into killing the in-game boss. Alright, so you have 5 tiers for stage 3. You only see 4 here because the other one's water tier. Okay, so you have an Oblivion tier, Eclipse tier, Ethereal tier, and Ragnarok tier. And then the other tier is called Abyssal, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you have a sub tier called Lumina, or Lumina, whatever you want to call it. I call it Lumina. This little tier is just a little cute tier that gives you all the lantern pets, which are just stronger, and you can still do the whole pickup thing. They're cute, they're adorable, and you need them to give that damage reduction on the final boss. if I set it up correctly. Whether or not that's true, you can let me know. So the key to taming these are kibble tames, but they all require a specific kibble that's not named kibble. That's unique to every single dino. So Oblivion has its own kibble, Eclipse has its own kibble, Ethereal has its own kibble, Ragnarok has its own kibble, Abyssal has its own kibble. Now here's the thing. Hello, what is happening here? Okay, so Oblivion, Ragnarok, and Abyssal, okay, those are just straight KO tames, and good luck trying to KO them. They have a ton of torpor, and they are the strongest dinos in the mod. Okay, these dinos have 300 times more stats than anything in vanilla. Okay, keep that in mind. Eclipse dino and an ethereal dino are passive tames. But here's the key difference. If I remember correctly, even though these are passive dinos, they, within a radius of them, you will take damage when trying to tame them. So you could sit here and try to passively tame, say, an ethereal Karcha, put a kibble in its butt, and you're good to go, right? Well, the longer you stand here on a wild ethereal, right, you're going to take damage, whether it's you as a player or you and your dinos. So keep that in mind. I believe it's the same thing for Eclipse. I can't remember. It's been a while since I ever created these guys. But they're all passive. They won't attack you. It makes it a little bit easier to tame them, but you have to get creative with taming them because of how strong they can be and because they always spawn in bad areas. So keep that in mind. Let me go teleport to where the Abyssal Dino is, just so you can take a look at what they look like, and I'll be right back. All right, now this is our Abyssal tier. It's all water dinos. This is our Abyssal Shark. He's very, very shiny, but he's not going to be this bright during the day, of course. But they're just water dinos. Some people may want to tame them. Some people may not. They're just as strong as the others. And they're KO tame. I originally made them because I thought I would make some water bosses for you to fight. But I decided not to do that because the mod's already big enough. But they're just good to use if you say you're trying to explore the waters and you want to try to find a good base location underwater. Hey, these Abyssal dinos come in super handy to kill anything and everything down below, right? Oh, I also forgot to show off something else as well back at the crafting stations. Now that that's all the stage 3 dinos. And that's our Primordial Wrath. It's faster than Vanilla Wrath. It turns on a dime. And yeah, it's glorious. Just wanted to say that real quick. But that was all the stage 3 dinos. And I want to let you guys know that this mod is very, very grindy. It's not made for those individuals who don't like that grindy progression style mod. And I truly mean that it's a grindy mod. I do recommend that if you do play Primordial Unleashed, that you set all your harvest settings to 3 times just because of the harvest rates on the harvesting dinos and harvesting tools. You don't want your community members who are playing on your server or the ones that are just randomly joining and because they found your server to end up crashing while they're playing just by simply smacking a tree or harvesting a dino. But that's just my recommendation. You play how you want to. I'm not going to tell you how to play. There's nothing stopping you in doing anything and everything the way you want. The other recommended settings is just simply 1 times experience, 3 times taming, just to make it, just so you can get a good feel for that grind. But again, it's your call, your choice. I will say the pros to this mod, if you use recommended settings, it will take you a long time to finish this mod and complete it. As long as you don't change any dino stats for wild or tamed in your configs for your servers, you will get the true experience of the mod, and it will take you a little bit of time. If you do change those things, which is the dino stats for at least tamed dinos, this mod becomes very, very easy, and it won't feel like a challenge. You'll be flying through this mod all together, especially if you boost harvest rates as well. So I don't recommend doing that so you can get the full experience of the mod, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, and I'm not going to stop you. We do have wandering bosses, as you can see, also on the map for you to go ahead and go fight. These wandering bosses vary. So you have, with the 5 different tiers that we have that you see for basic, so Void, Elementium, Mithril, Unobtainium, and Eternium, there are 5 wandering bosses for those dinos. So you can get higher tier blueprints for those tiers, okay? Excuse me. Then you also have these rocks right here. You have resource golem. Excuse me. You have a resource golem, and you have an experience golem. That basically just spawn on the map wherever the heck the experience golem is. I couldn't tell you. We also have an artifact wandering boss as well as an apex drop boss. So you kill the artifact boss, you get artifacts. You kill the apex drop boss, you get all those apex drops like the T-Rex arms and stuff and things like that, as well as trophies depending on what mods you may be utilizing. Like there's the apex, there's the artifact boss there, and let me see. If I can't find the apex drop boss, it is what it is. He's the one that walks. He's a big gorilla that flies around. Sorry, that walks around with the skeletal T-Rex on its back. But yeah, guys. So keep in mind though, these tranks. So we have metal tranks, we have darts, we have stone tranks, all those stuff and things. These tranks are primary. These are going to be your go-to tranks, man, because you could use other mods to get higher level tranks if you want them to do more torpor. But see, when you do that, you lose on a specific thing that the primordial tranks do that other mods or the majority of mods don't do. These tranks, especially with the trank spear that we have 5 tiers of as well, when you torpor a dino, whenever it gets knocked out, the food gets drained immediately. So it doesn't matter what tier arrow or what tier dart you are on, or if you're using a trank pike that the mod offers. The moment that dino is KO'd, the food drain kicks in, and it makes it a lot easier to tame dinos, and you're not sitting there for 4 to 5 hours waiting for the dino to get hungry just so you can tame it. If you use other modded tranks, the majority that I know of do not drain food unless you're using my other mod, the Super Duper Trank mod, on top of Primordial, because that Super Duper Trank mod will bring in trank dinos and trank a lot of different types of trank darts, trank arrows, things like that, with higher tiers of torpor, which in return basically will also drain food, because that's just the thing that I love, is that these arrows and tranks and all that stuff and things drains the dino's food when it's tranked, so you can tame easier. This net, oh, that's not the net gun. This primordial net gun is a godsend, and most people probably are sleeping on it. This net gun can basically net any single dino in the mod, in the game. It keeps it still. It will keep it webbed for, I think, 30 seconds, if not 15 to 30 seconds. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can use it on anything, man. It comes in super handy. As you can see, we just netted this boss right here, and he's not doing anything. You know what I mean? So it comes in super handy with taming, especially those flyers. If you do use it on a passive dino, keep in mind it may net it, but it may not allow you to tame it because of, you just aggroed it type of thing. I haven't tested it myself, so I don't know. So you let me know, guys. I think that's about it, man. That's about all the things, all the information about Primordial Unleashed. The pros to this mod, it's very grindy. It's going to take you a while. There's a lot of content to explore, a lot of dinos to tame, but there are cons to the mod, and I'm going to be brutally honest about them. The cons are, this is my first mod, so even though it may seem balanced, there's a lot of things that may be broken, a lot of things that may be more OP than others. The cons are, it's repetitive. There's a lot of repetitiveness in this mod, so you may get bored of, oh, I just have to go trank this dino to go get this one. I'll have to go do this and do that. It's a lot of repetitiveness. So I know that can get a little annoying at times, but it was my first idea for a mod, and I've understood and I've heard the complaints. I've seen the issues, but I'm not changing Primordial from what it is. I'm gonna keep it how it is because this is my stepping stone into modding, and I love what I've done so far. I've gotten better with a lot of things, and we're just gonna keep it that way, man. Some other cons is you don't have, there's not much things happening out in the ocean. In terms of like ocean bosses, ocean dinos that are not just specifically stuck in stage 3 tiers. So it's lacking ocean content. I know this. There's a lot of other things that there are probably more cons that I just can't think of. The bosses may be a little bit harder than they should be. The dinos, a lot of the dinos may not have the correct stats or doing the correct damage. The harvesting dinos may be too OP or not enough OP. Things like that. But I love what I've done with the mod. I hope you do. I hope the majority of you who have played the mod have enjoyed it as well. I hope the little tidbit of information I've given you guys helps you into playing the mod if you haven't played it already or have tried to progress through it already. And maybe you'll give it a chance if you're seeing this video. Being that this is a mod spotlight, mod review type of thing, I wanted to do my mod first, primarily because I've played it. I haven't fully played it to where I've completed it myself because I get distracted with other things. But I know the mod because I created it, so I wanted to share it all, share all the information, give you my mindset, my critiques, and just let you know a little tidbit of information. I'll be doing this for other Dino Overhaul mods that I will play with different series, similar to what I'm doing now with Anunnaki Ascended. But I won't do this mod spotlight, mod review thing until after I've completed the mod, just so I can have a good full understanding of what the progression is like, how to play it, and I can give my honest to God critique and opinions about it, especially coming from a modder's perspective as well as a player's perspective. Besides that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Come join the community so you can be updated with mod updates. Come join the public servers that we have currently. If you want to play on a server for Primordial Unleashed, we have a clustered official server up right now where you can test out the official rates with the mod list that we have and see how you like it. And you may like boosted rates and boosted things like that. So try it out in single player, try it out on your own servers, whatever the case may be. Besides that, guys, I appreciate all the love and support you've shown the channel, as well as Primordial Unleashed, man. It has over 100,000 downloads so far, and I hope to one day we could reach even higher. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Sorry for the pause. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon, whatever it is for whenever you see this. Keep me and my family in your prayers, man. Our family is expanding. Me and my wife are having a baby. A little mini Slayer is going to be coming into the picture in 9 months, basically. And we'll keep you updated and transparent on how that pregnancy is going. And that's about it, guys. I love y'all, and y'all take it easy. Peace out, everybody.